Okay, welcome everyone to this client spotlight. We are featuring Jeanne Spadaccini today of Inner Wisdom Wellness. And Jeanne, how are you? How's everything going?
I'm doing well. Yeah,
I'm
really
so
good.
glad you're here.
So glad to
So
be
tell
here.
us first, where are you located?
So I'm in Golden Valley, Minnesota, which is just a first rung suburb outside of Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
So,
Gotcha.
mhm, mhm.
And tell us a little bit about your practice, what you do, who you help.
Yeah, so I'm a holistic physical therapist. I do a lot of different modalities in that practice. I do some pelvic rehab. I combine it with kind of myofascial work, craniosacral work, visceral manipulation. So a lot of hands-on, but because I treat a lot of chronic pain, there's also, a lot of kind of coaching around that as well. So more than just the hands-on piece. Yeah.
I love it. And you're also a coach.
I am also a coach. Yes. Putting on another hat, which is super exciting and been a really great place to integrate what I've already known up to this point. So yeah, very
hmm
exciting.
How do you like to put coaching into your PT sessions?
I think primarily just, as you would certainly allude to, the a lot of the mindset shift, which again around
Mm.
chronic pain is just so critical to them seeing themselves in a different way, allowing themselves to move into a different way of being. So that has really become such a vital tool for working with chronic pain and working with people who've just been in that mindset of their diagnosis. So really important.
That's awesome. And then what do you want to do with coaching? What's your goal?
Well, kind of feels like the sky's the limit in terms of that. It's just exciting. It's really a natural blend with what I've done to this point. But ultimately, and why having my own business is so key, is that I want to be able to travel. I have two daughters. One just graduated from college this weekend,
Uh-huh.
and the second one is in college. So once they are done, my husband is game for hitting the road. And whether we go to New Zealand or we go to Sedona, Arizona, we don't know yet, but that will be so.
Both?
Yeah, right. All
How
all
about
of the above
both?
and more. My list gets longer by the day. Absolutely.
You're speaking to my heart.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have an adventurous spirit, and coaching just feels like such a natural way. I mean, you could certainly, illuminate a lot of that, but it just feels like we can have both and. So I can have a career that's so powerful and meaningful to me, and I can have adventures, which I'm sure will turn into how I coach. So yeah, so that's the
Oh,
that's the plan, and it's getting closer rather than further apart since, we've got them both in college and one done now. So hard to say I have a college alum, but you know, so it's good. It's
exciting.
exciting. Yeah.
Um, okay, so you've got Inner Wisdom Wellness, which is right now mostly a PT business,
Yeah.
branching into more coaching so you can
Correct.
travel
Yep.
and feed your wanderlust heart
That's right.
um, and spirit. So you went through our Be the Boss level one course to help build that business and then transitioned into the level two program. So
Did.
tell us a little bit. Obviously, I know right now your business is crushing it, but tell us a little bit, which we'll get to, but tell us a little bit about what was happening in your process of like being in level one and before you joined level two.
Yeah, I think part of it was when I stepped into level one, which was again kind of a spirit-driven place that I landed in that, which I
Mm-hmm.
just love that that's how it kind of just spontaneously
Mm-hmm.
showed up in all the right ways. So
Happens for a
when I
lot of people that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I stepped into that course, I come from working for somebody else for a lot of years. And so I really didn't know what I wanted my business to be.
Mm.
When it kind of happened the way it happened, I was kind of stuck out there wondering what it was going to look like. And so I felt like when I stepped into level one, it really started, as we all know, to really look at me. What did I really want? Which wasn't a question I had asked when I worked for somebody else. My job was to kind of follow his
Why
lead.
would you? Right.
Right. So I never
Mm-hmm.
had that experience. And so in stepping into level one, I really had, it was profound and eye-opening to kind of go, wait a minute, what do I really want? Like, what do I want the people that want to work with me to to be attracted to? And so it was really just such a powerful
Mm-hmm.
place to sit with and to ponder and to, really create for maybe the first time in my life professionally what I wanted to be. And
Mhm.
it was, yeah, it was amazing. And I mean, still, I can
What a
just still
concept.
remember. Yeah, it was just a mind-blowing thing. So when that moved in, I felt like I got some really powerful puzzle pieces to who I
Mhm.
was, and then who I was going to be as a business owner, and who those that wanted to work with me would see. But so I had a lot of pieces, and it was such a foundational thing. And probably being that I was on my own for the first time, it also gave me a community of
Oh
like-minded
yeah,
people,
right. Hmm.
right? Which kind of fast forward to level 2 has grown incrementally more than I ever could have expected. And,
Me too.
right. Like when you
Yeah,
talk about soulmate level clients, these are soulmate level practitioners and business owners that just, feed my soul, which I didn't even have that when I worked for somebody else. I had great coworkers, but it was different,
right.
right? It was such a different thing. So to have other people going through the same pieces and sharing the vulnerabilities that they have that often are what I'm dealing with and thought I was the only one dealing with, it's just been life changing. I could probably say that a few more times, but but it definitely has.
I love it. What types of I- first of all, I love that you talk about you're on your own for the first time, and there's a difference between coworkers and colleagues, who you work with,
Hmm.
and then the people who are in your corner
Yeah.
as your soulmate supporters.
Yep.
That's different, right? That
Yep.
I tell that to people all the time, that just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean you don't need a team
Right.
behind you.
I have to apologize. Speaking of behind me, I have a cat, so please apologize for the sound of her. She
All
likes to be on camera.
Speaking of being part of your team, it's great. She can keep
Yes.
talking. All furry animals are welcome. It's
I'll pick
fine.
her up. That'll quiet her down a little bit.
There
So
we go.
yeah.
Yeah, just share her with the group. It's
Yes.
just part of your team.
Yes.
Um, what would you say were things that, either before joining level 1 or level 2, kind of going into this business ownership for the first time in your entire career, having worked for someone else, what were things that were going through your head on things you were trying to do to like make it work, or, things you thought you should be doing that weren't working for you?
Well, I think that was the hardest thing coming from working with somebody else is I thought that was the model of how it was done, even though I didn't really appreciate how he did his business. So, so the heavy duty forced, kind of marketing thing, it just didn't feel authentic to myself. But I thought, is that the way this is going to have to work?
Hmm.
And that was probably one of the first things in level 1 that I was like, wait a minute, there are so many other ways I can do this that are authentic to me. So that was again, yeah, boom.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think that's, when I look at where my business is now and I think, I have not been a marketing 101 person, and it's just moved right
still
along.
not. Yeah.
No, I'm still
Right.
not, and it's still going great. So
Not in your DNA.
it's
Hmm.
not my DNA. No, but I thought that's what I had to do, right? I saw this example and I didn't really know anything else. So to really,
Makes sense.
yeah, that's all I had, examples of. So that's where I think working with you in the level 1 was, and just, seeing everybody else's approach was like, there are just so many ways to do this that aren't that venue of marketing, right? It's not the pushy, heavy stuff. So that was, I think, probably the biggest thing that, and fortunately, the universe has done a great job of just providing me a very successful business in the process.
I mean, you've done something
Well,
along the
yes,
way.
but I think
Yeah,
that was the shift, is that if I don't do
sure.
it this way, it's not going to be successful. And I've been shown that that's not true.
Yeah, gotcha. What would you say, having been in, especially the level 2 program, because I love how you said you had the puzzle pieces, right? So, what would you say being in the level 2 program has allowed you to do to upgrade in your business?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think at the end of level 1, where I was so excited about my messaging and branding piece. Like I really felt
I
like
was
that just,
too.
yeah,
I
right.
loved you. Uh huh.
And so I felt, there was kind of a fire that had been lit, but to really step into the retreats and take that deeper dive, that was what I didn't, I mean, I
Mm.
know I needed it, but it was so profound because, for the time to interact and really sit with those places. I never thought I'd like to speak, in a group of any sort. And so the speaking retreat was just like, oh, wait, I have a really powerful story. I'm just not,
Not
comfortable yet
sharing it.
sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I am. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
so different. Or, the sales retreat, or just, so any of it that the deeper I go into it, the richer it becomes, and the more authentic, again, the more natural to who I am it has
Mm,
become.
that
So
sounds delicious.
yeah, it does.
So the retreats were something that really helped upgrade your
Yeah,
confidence, it sounds like, and your visibility, right? Your
right.
really ability to shine your light, in
Yeah.
a really authentic way, as the world needs to see your light. It's amazing. Um, for those who have taken the level 1 course and you've done module 3, Jeanne is the example client that we actually talk through in terms of messaging. And obviously, your messaging is amazing, as everyone can see. Uh, and then, what then would be some of the biggest upgrades you've experienced in your life during the
Mm,
program?
yeah. Well, I think overshadowing all of it is a confidence level in myself, right? As a business owner, as, just a mom and a wife and a friend. And, I just like, I'm so excited about what I do, which, I loved what I did before when I worked for somebody else, but I wasn't excited about it in this way. So
Mm.
that's kind of, comes over everything. And, just the possibilities of really doing my business the way I want to do it. And the way that, yeah, I mean, right. That's
Again,
just
what a
the
concept.
what a concept. I love that. So that, I think there's that. And I think, on the other side of just really having a group of other business owners and who are launching themselves out in that same way, that's been just, strength in numbers kind of thing that just feels like we all benefit when we all help each other out. And that's what I've definitely found in the level 2. It's just that common
Rising tide lifts all ships. One of my
bullshit.
favorites.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
give us some deets. Like what is your business looking like? Like, what are you busy? Are you
Am
still
I busy?
growing? Am I
Yeah.
busy?
Am I busy?
I think you just answered the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, that is the answer. I am busy. I at the beginning or the end of April, my entire month of May was booked.
Wow.
I have a wait list of about 15 patients who will take my, spots that open up like that.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't have to work very hard. I mean, there's always that funny little piece that, what if you can't fill that spot? And so I'm bursting in the numbers that I'm seeing. And yet still there's that little sometimes voice that's like, what if you can't fill that? And I look at the list and like usually it's the first person I call that wants to get in because there's just that waiting time. Yeah, which is just great. And so that's exciting. And there's the, being more excited about stepping out with the possibility of just sharing this as a coach and doing all the other pieces, it's going to kind of fall into place. But I mean, even since, so I started level 2 in July of last year, and I'm almost 50% increase in my income to
Oh
date,
my gosh.
right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Right, crazy. And so I feel like I'm working smarter, not harder. I guess, that line, it's kind of interesting just to feel like because I'm doing it the way I want to, because I have that, now I feel like I have such a solid foundation after coming through level 1 and being in level 2. It's just kind of rolls itself. So, I mean, I have to run the business. It's not that I don't have to do those pieces.
Minor detail.
Right, minor
Mm-hmm.
detail, right? But again, it's kind of, been just so cool to watch it fall into place the way it has.
Doing it
And
well, you're working smarter, not harder, and doing it, as you said, in a way that feels authentic to you and is joyful. And again, all those things we were saying, what a concept,
yeah,
right?
right, what a concept. Who knew you
What a
could do that?
concept.
No, I
Who
do.
knew? Well, right? So what, in terms of the program, so you've mentioned a lot of things about the group, the people in the program, the feel of being in like a mastermind container.
Yeah.
What are your favorite elements of that? Anything that you haven't already mentioned, obviously.
Yeah, I think that just the I mean, I've said it in a couple different ways, but just that level of support that I can put something out or somebody else put something out. And, it's just that it sparks a lot of different ideas amongst all of us. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody, keeps just that it's like the greatest cheerleading I've ever been a part of. But I was not really a big cheerleader, but it's like everybody wants everybody to succeed. And so, those kind of pieces in the group are great. Again, I can't speak highly enough about the retreats and just being able to really sit in a, kind of intensive place of just working through that.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes have squirrel mode where I get really distracted, but when you're there sitting with the whole group on a full day, like it's such a good kind of exhaustion when you finish the day and think, look what I've accomplished. And again, that's just shown up in all kinds of different ways in my business, all the pieces that I've learned through the various retreats. So
Mm.
just rich.
Look what I've accomplished. I love that you're seeing that focus,
Mhm.
and having all the people around you who are in that same seat as you to
Yeah.
share that experience of course, we all get squirrel mode, don't we? And just be able to focus for a day, and in our retreats, it's really about skill building. And you can't learn that in a self-paced class. You can a little bit, you can get the puzzle pieces, and then the retreats are where we really put it all together, and
Yeah.
give you this. I love how you said it's like, look at what I accomplished, this finished product in a way of your skill set. And there's so many skill sets as an entrepreneur, as a
Yeah.
human, really,
Yeah.
as a
Right.
human.
Right. They actually, interlace very
It's
nicely.
just
It's
human skill sets that we're
right.
working on. How to be a good
Apply
human.
those in business. It works.
Awesome. Um, Outside of the retreats, are there other elements of the program that you find really supportive or helpful for you in particular and your goals and how you like to work and be coached or anything like that?
Well, I mean, of course, I love the one-on-one coaching like that. That just is my opportunity to, show up and
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
move through whatever is showing up in my business, in my life, in my,
The things we've
in
talked about on your
yeah,
one-on-one calls. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, and I think that, that it just keeps layering. Like there's just so much more that and I loved the level one class. Like I said, it was such great puzzle pieces, but this feels like I can step back and see so many things I didn't even know existed in the middle of that puzzle. If we were working on the edges, we've now filled in a lot of the pieces on the inside, which is just like, oh,
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I just came up with the most interesting metaphor, in the puzzle you put together the outside,
yeah,
the perimeter. And then,
yep,
yeah, we
yep.
fill, you have all the pieces
And the
from level
pieces,
one, and
yeah,
then we fill in the
yeah,
inside together.
yep.
Leave it to Jeanne to help us with
You bring,
metaphors.
you bring a lot of this out. I got to be honest. It's a great brainstorming thing. But yeah,
It's
I
an
mean, that's what
exchange.
it feels like. It's rich and it's, I feel like I'm living what I maybe created, if you will, when I was in level one. It's just as,
Mm.
as as I would say, I am an inner wisdom tour guide. And
Mhm.
that's it. So all those parts have come together in level two in just a really rich tapestry. So
Wow. That sounds amazing. I want to be in level two.
yeah, you do.
Be in it.
Do not stop. Go right ahead and join. It's amazing.
Like to be there.
Yes.
That sounds awesome. Okay, so then speaking of, right, who would you say that to? Who would you say, do not stop? Like, don't pass go, don't collect $200.
Right.
Who is, who would you, if you're in a coffee shop and you had a room full of people, who would you recommend in that coffee shop to take the program?
Well, I think if it's somebody who feels like they have a better idea of who they are and what they want their business to look like, but they're kind of feeling like they don't know how to get themselves, in the bigger picture of walking out into the world and saying, this is what I am and this is who I can help. Whether it's speaking, doing a
Mm.
sales call. Like I think I probably, I had enough of those to do them, but now it's just feels like it's much more of a comfort level of doing them. I don't have to, get deer in the headlights anymore. So anybody who wants that level of comfort and confidence in themselves and, feels like much like I'm saying is that, I had a lot of good tools. Really, that was fabulous. But boy, was I excited when I knew level 2 existed, because then I knew I could take them and keep applying them and really nuancing them. And, to sit across somebody in the retreat and read my story and get such powerful feedback in the moment, that, if somebody wants that and they really can do well with taking that, criticism, not even criticism, constructive feedback,
Sure.
and move themselves forward, that's, just go
Mm.
do.
So I love how you said you had the tools. You could have, you're brilliant, right? And you have wonderful inner wisdom with enough inner wisdom reflection, you
Yeah,
could have, probably filled in your puzzle pieces on your own, but you wanted that next level of deep diving,
yeah,
right? And support. And for you it sounded like this was a confidence, like I
sure.
can't give you confidence and our people can't give you confidence, but we can help you pull it out of yourself
That's it. Yes.
more efficiently in a richer way, and ways that have staying power,
Yes.
versus like, okay, I have confidence today and tomorrow I'm off the wagon and I'm down in the
Yeah.
ditch again. It's like
Yeah.
we talk about sort of closing the gap on when you're up and down. We all have the ebbs and flows in our confidence, and closing the gap on that.
Yep. Yeah, precisely. That's exactly it. And I think I was telling somebody, talking about this, that I felt like, I had a good handle on where my bus was headed, if you will, in terms of being a business owner.
Mhm.
But I still, my, nagging little voices sat right behind me on the bus. And I feel like maybe in a sense, level 2, the bus got bigger and they went further back, so that
Love it.
I
Mhm.
don't have that same, yeah, they might flit in, but they go out as fast as they come in now, so that
Mhm.
I really can know that this is my path, right? And it's just to have that. I know myself enough to know that, you know, it would have taken me a lot longer to put the rest of the puzzle together, because
Mm.
having somebody else's support, and a group of people like-minded, compassionate, and,
So
seeing me
compassionate.
for a successful business owner, sometimes more than I was able to see initially. And so
Well,
that,
that's true.
right, you know,
Hmm.
and just to have that reflected back in all of the people in that group has just been such a gift. I mean, again,
Oh,
I think on one of the pages I wrote, it's the gift I finally decided to give myself, is to be a part of this group. So
that was going to actually be my next question, which was something around what voices came in, or what type of obstacles did you feel coming into this program were like making it a no for you, where you were like, I don't know, I should
yeah,
join.
I mean, we all have our sandbags, right? That's one of the
Yeah,
beautiful
right.
things that went through level 1. But again, I'd let some sand out of mine. And I think I sat and looked at both options, sit with what I had coming out of level 1, which was fabulous, as I already said, and move that through, or take the leap to level 2 and really keep growing. And it didn't take me very long, to be honest, to kind of go, okay, I know myself. I know this is good, but I know I'm going to do so much better. And here I sit. It was paid off in spades. I will, so that would be the thing I would tell the person in the coffee shop. Really, I can tell you, sitting where I am now, how much more confident and successful internally I feel. No matter what my business looks like, I feel like I'm a success, and that's pretty darn worth everything. So yeah, I'm just thrilled that I made the decision and I didn't talk myself out of it.
Well, so, okay, let's pretend that old Jeanne is sitting in the coffee shop in front of you, and she is so her critic voice, right? Her little
Mhm.
kid or punishing parent or whoever is inside her head screaming loudly. What is that voice saying? What is that critic voice saying about
Well,
making this
probably there
decision?
would, yeah, probably there would be the piece that would say, can you really afford it? Right. I mean, is this really, and there'd be a piece of like, just do it. You've got what you need, just do it. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
and those would have been kind of, like I said, kind of the punishing parent, why do you have to have more? Maybe would be the voice I would hear. And I think that's what I walked out of level 1, pretty sure that I deserved more. Like, I
Mm.
deserved the support and the growth that level 2 was going to give me. And so again, it was just a total investment in myself. Yes, as a business owner, but as a human too, you know.
Gosh.
How lucky am I that I get to be part of a group of really supportive, really growth minded people that just, you know, that help, that first and foremost want to help support each other move forward. No question. I know I could contact any one of the people in that group and run whatever doubts were going through my head, and all I would get was a ton of support back. And I knew I couldn't find that very many other places. Well, I didn't know where I would find that. So, you
Wow.
know, for me, it was just, you know, if you want to think, I just had my youngest or my oldest graduate undergraduate. She's done with her undergraduate. This was graduate school, right? And graduate school just felt like the really gift I wanted to give myself. So,
I love it. Of course you deserve that gift. I love that. Of course I deserve this.
of course I do, right?
Wow.
And more. So it was fantastic. Yeah.
Hmm. So if you could tell anyone else right now what to do, what's your advice? What would you say?
Well,
One line.
yeah. One of my advice is, again, I would not back to the board game, but just, you know, do it. You're
Monopoly.
worth it, right? You're worth it. You know, your growth is worth it. And it's so much more satisfying to do it with a group than to try to, for me, to push it forward
100%.
on your own. Yep.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. In my own groups that I'm a part of, that I could do it on my own. And so, though I look at being a part of a group, a mastermind, and having private coaching as a gift. This
Yeah.
is a gift that I am deserving of. And it takes an enormous amount of courage in our world, you know, to say that out loud.
Yes.
And it's one thing to say it, and then it's another thing to actually take the steps where it's embodied in our DNA and
Yeah.
we're shining it back out. And then that's another thing to say it to other people. You deserve it
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely. Yep. So I would say that. I would say you deserve it. You know, just it's worth it. Like I said, it wasn't, once I, you know, get over the head space of what the financial piece was, I don't even think twice about that anymore. That was the least of it. It was just to get out of my own way and say I deserve it. And I do. So
Awesome. I love it. Well, I'm so glad you're a part of the program, and in so
thank
many
you.
ways have been able to help yourself, but also everyone else in the container has been so blessed by the gift of you being in their space. And thank you for being here to share with others, you know, not only what's possible for them from inside the program, but what is possible for them in general and
Yeah.
what they deserve. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
really appreciate it. All right, Jeanne,
Well,
we'll
it's an
have to have
honor
you
to be here.
back. We'll have to
Yeah,
have you
absolutely.
back and give everyone an update on what's happening in the
Happy to
life
do
of
it.
Jeanne.
Thrilled to be a
Thanks.
part of this group. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Bye.
Hooray. Oh, hold on. Let me take it off alive. We're not live anymore.